Chunks of life. Sometimes I'm in my zone and the world is hectic all around
Chunks
me.
of fashion.
And when I'm on my way, I gotta style my best, so gotta look like me. It's amazing what you find when you search the world of celebrity.
Chunks of relationships.
Everybody's in relationships. Everybody's trying to figure out this thing called love. Oh,
How we
chunks of life, chunks of fashion, chunks of entertainment, chunks of relationships, chunks of life, chunks of fashion.
With a cameo?
Chunks of
entertainment,
chunks of relationships.
Gonna show us off.
Give me some more, give me some more, give me some more. Give me some more, give me some more, give me some more.
Okay, let's start it again for the people that are joining us. Hi guys, just gonna wait for people to join and we're going to start. So I'm just reloading the theme song for those that are joining us right now. Hey people, good evening.
Sometimes I'm in my zone
And the world is hectic all around me. And when I'm on my way, I gotta style my best, I gotta look like me.
It's amazing what you find when you search the world of celebrity.
Hi guys.
Everybody should
The real Mochunkstv. For real. This is the real raw Mochunkstv.
Chunks of life, chunks of fashion, chunks of entertainment.
Let me share this on Twitter as well.
Give me some more, give me some more, give me some more. Give me some more.
Let's see the mood.
Give me some more.
Hey people. Let's see where we at. Okay, let me monitor on this. Cool. Yes, it's you guys who's not heard the theme song. If you're in this live stream and you've not heard the theme song, let me know right now. Say hi. Say hi. Jesus Christ. Say hi. If you've never heard the theme song. Okay, so we've had like 2 live streams so far. And like I always say at the start of the live stream, this is when you see the real Mo. Like this is where you see like the bits that usually get edited out when I'm being silly, when I make mistakes, when you hear the H factor, when a lot of things just come out, you know. But yeah, we have a lot of fun on here. We've had 2 so far. Last year, December time, we didn't really get to do like live streams just because of the way things went down at the studio. But now that, you know, I'm back home and I've got like different settings at home, I thought I'd bring back the live stream. So hi guys, say hi everybody if you're over there. Some of you don't like to comment, that's to just be shy. But if you're over there and you're joining us, say hi, say hi, say hi. Somebody said, I love you, never gets old, no matter how many times I've heard it. Good. Yes, it's an original song. I wrote it when I was in university. It came to me in the shower, in the balùwẹ̀, like Jennifer from Jennifer's Diary would usually say. Yeah, it came to me in the shower. One random day, I was just like, chunks of life, passion, entertainment, relationships, Mochunkstv show. So this was about 7 years ago, and literally it just, you know, it's 7 years later after much like hard work, grinding, consistency. You know, you guys saw, some of you may have seen that, you know, my amazing partner got me like this studio as my present. And when we went off in the production break, I remember going into the studio and realizing, oh my goodness, like, this is what I imagined in terms of this is where I want my live my theme song to be filmed. This was the dressing table that I imagined. This was the walking down the stairs that I imagined. It was literally perfect for the theme song. So we shot it 7 years later, from when it was initially like from its initial inception, and here we are, the Mochunkstv show. So hi guys. So one of the reasons why, I do know I'm rambling on a little bit, but one of the reasons why I actually wanted to do live streams, apart from the fact that I love interacting with you guys live, I also wanted to give myself a break from like editing weekly. And some of you may or may not know, like I pretty much run the channel solo. So like all the shows that you see, I edit them, you know, upload them myself, manage the socials, do the newsletters. I do a lot. Sometimes it's like who sends me. I do a lot, which means that I easily get burnt out. So I said to myself, why don't I give myself like 1 week in a month when I don't do any editing, and but I still come on here live and interact with you guys and keep engaged with you guys, because I do enjoy doing this. So we do it live. I don't know when exactly we're going to do it, because I was speaking to my partner about this, that maybe the last day of every month maybe, but right now it's like every last Thursday. Like usually when Chit Chat with Mo would go up, we would have this live debate. So who's ready for some what's trending? Let me know in the comment section. I'm looking. Who's ready for what's trending, guys? Thank you so much. Thank you. So, Dami, but Southeast Paris, really? Paris. Dami is in London and he's saying that he's in Paris. Where's everybody from actually? Let's go. Let's say where we're from. So we've got Paris, Oniro, Loriro. Anybody else? What areas are you from? Okay, Princess is ready for what's trending. Dami's ready for what's trending. Chanel's ready for what's trending. Nomar. Okay, cool. Let me get my list. Ooh, okay. It's kind of hot in here. Sophie, can I open the window, please? I'm in Sophie's room, guys, and just in case some of you may not have caught up. You see what I'm talking about? Caught up with my life updates. I've currently moved back home. Ooh, it's really hot in here. So I've moved back home, and I'm in Sophie's room. I really hope it's not loud though. Now that I've opened the window, just let me know if the sound's still okay. Okay, someone's in Oxford. Hi. South Africa. Wow. Hi. Okay, guys. So another thing about the live stream, because it's live, we won't have like the images that I normally put on. So just bear with us as we upgrade the system. But we have to start somewhere, right? Okay. So in terms of celebrity news, so who's seen the whole news with like Banky W and Adesua? They basically recently announced that they had a baby. They didn't announce a pregnancy. Well, they used their pregnancy shoots to announce the fact that they had a baby. And the baby's name starts with what is it? It starts with a Z. So they haven't actually revealed what the name of the baby is, but they've been calling themselves Baba Z, Mama Z. Who's seen the baby news and who's like super excited about them? And funny enough, they actually inspired today's like Chit Chat with Mo, which is keeping your relationship off of social media, make it last longer, because there's already been a lot of commentary. Somebody said it's crazy because right before they announced it, I was literally thinking of them. These are all the pregnancy watchers, the womb watchers. Everybody knows all of a sudden when the baby gets announced, that's when you remember that you were having premonitions. But I believe you, girl. It's okay. Thank you, Nita. Oh, Zaya or Zaya? Sophie, let me pronounce Kini. How do you say this name? Zaya? Zaya, okay. Thanks, Soph. That's my little sister, Sophie. She's a pretty cool girl. Someone said, I'm so excited, really. I'm so happy for them. Happy for them. Thank you so much, Shopper. Cicely Tops, hi. Didn't they have kids around the wedding party 2 movie? I wouldn't say I know the exact timeline, but her birthday was recent, and she said that she got the best birthday present 4 weeks ago. So I would say maybe like 9 months back from January. That's like March last year she was pregnant from. If that's accurate anyway, because we can never really know the full. I think Banky W and Adesua are a couple that a lot of people praise, not just them for their privacy, but also the friends around them. Like I've seen a lot of commentary around the fact that their friends keep what they don't want out in the public eye, they keep it to themselves. Like when they were engaged, no one knew about that because they were dating for about a year or so. I might not be correct with that, but it was a long time before they actually like got in a relationship. So they built that foundation of friendship. No one kind of blurted it out, and they had the wedding. Although they said that they wanted a small wedding, and then they ended up having like 5 different weddings in different countries, which was quite interesting. But yeah, their friends do get praised a lot for like keeping their secret. Like we need friends like that, honestly, in this world where everybody just wants to blab things on social media. Like, who's seen those stories where someone's like, this didn't happen to me, it happened to my friend, but she's giving me permission to come and share, or he's giving me permission to come and share, just because you want to trend, you're coming to blast your friend's yansh in front of the whole world. I just cannot with the generation sometimes. Said, I meant they've been quiet for a while. Yeah. See. Um, yeah, no, that makes sense, Nita. No, I didn't even mean that in a bad way. Oh, sorry if I made you feel bad. No, I was just joking that we know we Nigerians we like to do womb watchers sometimes. We're like, oh, I knew she was pregnant. But yeah, let's go into your Yelebrity news. So this one is quite varied, like good news all over the gaff for like some of our favorite celebrities. I think one that everyone was really happy about was Elizabeth Zola. She gave birth to twins. Like we all knew she was pregnant and we knew the baby was coming, but like I guess everyone kind of assumed that it was just a single birth, and she ended up just posting that it was double than they expected. And that was really nice to see. Who kind of saw that birth announcement, let me know in the comment section. um there was another celebrity that I believe got engaged. Let's look through my notes. Yeah, it was Jacqueline Ilu. I don't know if that's how you would say her surname, but she got engaged. Really nice little proposal. And then Lake Sanu, or Lake, how do you say her name? I always say Lake Sanu. Let me know how you pronounce that name, but yeah, she announced her pregnancy as well. So it was like baby news, baby delivery, baby news in terms of I'm pregnant, and then it was also an engagement. So the start of a new journey, and that was really nice. I really like good news in terms of celebrity. You guys know that me and the trending topic space, like it's a love-hate relationship for me, because I do love delivering like social commentary, but then I don't like how sometimes bad news trends more than like good news. So like we're very like intentional as a platform with trying to broadcast that more. Lake as in lake in a garden. Oh, lake. And then is the Anu Sanu? Because what's the S for? Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes with these apps, you just pronounce everything together. Whoa. Oh, someone said Licky, I'm done. Is that you're even doing it like your name, Lade? Hi, Lade. Welcome to the live stream. Also, guys, like the video, like it as we're doing the live stream. It lets other people know that they should join as well. Comment where you can, share it where you can with your friends, and also use the hashtag. Actually, let's decide what hashtag we should be using for these lives. Should we use TMCS live? And also Chit Chat with Mo. I think I like Chit Chat with Mo as well. So let me know which one you want us to be using. Maybe both. TMCS Live, Chit Chat with Mo. Let me know what you think in the comments. So let's go into world news. This one, I'm going to need you guys' help on this one, because I think it's something we're all trying to wrap our heads around. And it's this whole roadmap to freedom. Somebody said to chat with Mo. Yeah, defo like hashtag it, share it where you can so that everyone can see it. Let me type it in the thing. Chat with Mo. I hope the window isn't disturbing you guys, by the way. Just let me know. Thank you so much. Hey, Maria. Hi. Hey, Vera. Hey, guys. Thank you so much for joining. We also, as we go ahead, we have a super fans thing. I'm not sure whether you guys can see, because I can't actually see it right now. It's just a way that you guys can like support the channel if you wanted to. We also have like a PayPal link in the description. To be honest, I prefer that PayPal because YouTube is so ruthless with the way they take their cuts. Like, come on, give us a chance. So I would actually prefer, if you want to donate, thank you so much, first of all. But if you do want to donate, use the pay. I'd rather the PayPal than the super fans, but also go ahead and use super fans. Oh, we got the super fan, we got 199. Thank you so much, Nigo True. Okay, so let's go on this roadmap to freedom. What do you guys think? First of all, have you guys seen it? Second of all, what are your thoughts in terms of, is it realistic? Um, it kind of feels a bit like the whole eat out to help out scheme that we got really excited about, including myself. Me, I ate to I went to those restaurants that I couldn't afford before. I really enjoyed myself. I wined and dined. But now looking back, I realized how silly it was. And actually, like, it reminds me of this scripture, not to preach or anything. Like, some things are like, it's permissible, but it's not always helpful. So it's kind of like with the government, do we just trust everything that they say that, okay, you can do it now, whilst at the back of our mind, knowing that actually this wasn't helpful? At the time, I thought when they did the whole eat out to help out scheme, I thought the numbers were going down and I thought we were like stabilizing again. I mean, I was definitely very hopeful from the beginning. Do I have a bogey? Let's hope not. I was definitely, this is where you see the crazy mode, trust me. Sophie, can I grab some tissue, please? I feel like I've got a bogey. But you guys are too polite to tell me. You know them ones where you be sitting and you've just got a hunker in your nose.
No, don't use those. I'll get you tissue.
Okay, hurry, hurry, hurry. Oh, someone said no bogey. Yeah, it's kind of, I can kind of feel, so you know when you can feel something. Yeah, so it kind of feels like that, in a sense of, at the time I genuinely felt like the numbers were going down. I felt like the NHS wasn't doing too bad, and of course we saw that spike in like November time, which was kind of really sad to see. They promised us that there was going to be a Christmas where we could see everybody, and then just last minute, Lori Raw, they cancelled the whole thing. So Vera says rate of freedom too soon, too fast. Opening schools first is a bad move. Oh my goodness. I do not understand why the government is not treating teachers as what's the word? Is it priority workers? Key workers. I don't know why the government is ignoring the fact that they come into contact with various different households on a daily basis. And then, they're saying things like, children they don't suffer bad symptoms from coronavirus, but that's been debunked because unfortunately and very sadly we've seen some children die from coronavirus. Not It's not as widespread as with more vulnerable populations like the over 70s, for example, but it still happens. So it does happen. And then, of course, even though the children might not be affected, they're in contact with adults, vulnerable adults, that then go back to their families with possible other vulnerable adults. So I think it's really the way they're kind of playing with the lives of the teachers that do such an amazing job of like getting kids ready for the real world. I think it's tea with evaporated milk. I don't really like the fresh milk in my tea. I like it to be very milky. Oh, we have a teacher. Chanel, I'm a teacher and it's actually a problem. Nigo said teachers are scheduled to get the vaccine nearly a month after they're back in school. Okay, so they are scheduled. I didn't know that. So that's really good to know, but still, a whole month. Boris, it's not fair. Chanel said, I feel like they're selling us a dream. Again, like, this government is very interesting. I don't know whether they are to be trusted because, like I said, eat out to help out, they made it seem like everything was okay, but it clearly was not because we saw the huge spike after. And then Christmas as well, they promised us, and Lori Raw, it did not happen. Which is really like, yeah, I don't know. I think it's a matter of just keeping yourself and your family safe. Because I remember when they first announced that at Christmas they might allow us to have like 2 or 3 households, I was thinking, what the hell? Like, why would you move? What the fuck? Like, what is that? Um, so I can't wait to go back to school, but yes, I'm very proud. Are you a teacher, Tammy? The students walk up on you all the time and even we remind them, secondary school, yeah, like school is a very like touchy feely place. Even you can just imagine like the locker room, for example, where it all gets really like busy. People are play fighting, pulling each other's ties, etc. It's just people are vulnerable adults at home, trust me. Guys, like the live stream as well, excuse me. And please share it so that more people can join us. Use the hashtag ChitChatWithMo or the TMCS Live on Twitter. Let us know what you're thinking of the live stream. I agree. I don't think we'll get to June 21st. I mean, I think it's nice to hope. It's nice to have that. So I'm hopeful. Yes, I am hopeful for today. Take this music and use it. Let it and be hopeful. It's good to be hopeful. Um, I do hope. I think my biggest thing with this is I don't want them to open things up too early and then we're back to the starting point. Because if you can imagine, it's now nearly March 2021, meaning it's been about a year since we've basically like come back right to the starting point. And I don't want to be back here. I don't think personally that I can do another lockdown. I don't know about you guys, but I like being outside. I like um doing my shoots. Like some of you may or may not know that I was a freelance videographer and I used to enjoy that. That was like, if you know me, me and exercise were like this. I don't really like exercise, but I do like to be active naturally. So like those long shoots used to keep me active and just looking healthy. And now it's like I have to force myself to do extra workouts just to kind of keep fit. And me and Abby spoke about this early on in the second lockdown, I believe. And that's kind of like very off topic, but like my relationship with food and like the anxiety with like regaining weight and stuff. Because obviously I had like a very like dramatic weight loss journey. Like I don't want to go back there. So it's like being indoors all the time. It's like and not working out as much or not being as active. It's not necessarily working out. I used to be naturally active, but now it's not the case and I don't really like it. But yeah, I don't want things to open up too early and then we're back to the starting point. I'd rather we do a hard lockdown. Um I like the idea of support bubbles. That helps me greatly in the first and second lockdown. Um, because obviously if you live on your own, you can still see like your family or form a support bubble with your friends. So that was really good. Childcare bubbles as well, very essential. That was really good. So I'd rather that kind of lockdown and we get things on the road rather than we started doing Eat Out to Help Out again. And they said that Rishi guy wants to do another Eat Out to Help Out. Somebody just, I don't know. Hey, Gracious. Hi. Thank you so much for joining us. SIGH, Sig H. Hi, Samin. I don't know who else I've missed, but hi, thank you so much, guys, for joining us. But yeah, as we're discussing these things, do let me know what you think. Let me know. Oh, somebody said we're going to be in lockdown again. I really hope not. Like, I really hope not. Amplify the gospel. Hey, hi, thank you so much for joining. We're just talking. We've talked about Banky W and Adesua's baby news. We've talked about some good news in the Yeleb world, baby news, pregnancy news, engagement. And then we've just talked about the roadmap to freedom by Boris Johnson. Do you trust it? Do you not? Just let us know before we go on to the next one. Vera says, I agree. I think they should expand the support bubbles before returning to school. Yeah. I, those of you that are teachers, how has online school been? Like, genuinely, like, has it been a hassle? Do you feel like your kids are interacting with you? Do you feel like their grades have dipped? And what about the intelligence as well? Because I really do wonder like how students' brains are working right now, being away from the screen. I know if I wasn't online school, I wouldn't be focusing on any lessons. If you're a teacher, just let us know. If you're a student as well, actually, I don't know what's the age range on this live, but if you're a student, have you been engaging? So if you have, you found online school? Terrible. She said terrible. I don't know if you guys can hear her. No. Gracious. Okay, so Gracious and Nigo do this thing where they start fighting. Guys, please, just men and competition. Yeah. Anyway, whatever you want to do, we will graciously accept it, just like your name. If you want to donate to MCTV, we have the superstars. It's a sticker. You can see that smiley face next to where you're about to put your comment. You can donate via there, or in the description box, there's a PayPal link. Let me just put the PayPal email in the comments as well. info.mochunks. So if you want to donate via PayPal as well, you can do so. I was just saying at the start of the live stream that I prefer the PayPal because YouTube takes a nasty cut from that superstars thing. But yeah, if you want to donate as little as anything, 30p, £1, whatever you want to donate. But let's go straight into Social trend. Who's been on TikTok lately? Oh, somebody said I'm in sixth form. It's not the best. That's Princess. I'm so sorry, sis. Like, what's made it more difficult? Is it the fact that you don't have that physical contact? Because I'm definitely like a quality time person. That's my love language. I wonder if that would have been my school language as well. Yeah. No, they're not having the best. So if you just gave me a nasty look, that would have probably been my school language. I love to see people like I feel like yeah, and I'm an auditory learner though, so I feel like maybe online classes and listening back wouldn't have been too bad. Um you're creating pause lessons to bridge the gap. What does that mean? This is all teacher lingo. Uchechi says I'm a millennial. I don't understand TikTok. Let me tell you, for a long time I was like, what is this app? Because obviously I've got a younger sister. She's you're Gen Z, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Sophie's Gen Z, and she understands what do you call it? She understands all these young apps. And when TikTok first came out, I was like, what is this? Like I didn't really understand it. But actually, when Instagram brought out the feature Reels, which is like short form videos, and it's very similar to TikTok, it actually started to increase my curiosity for TikTok. So once I learned how to do Reels, I then went on a TikTok app, and of course on Instagram and Twitter and stuff, people will post people's TikToks, and that's like I guess one of the great things about TikTok, and it definitely adds to its marketing strategy and the genius of it all. You can easily save any TikTok, like any TikTok. You can just click the three dots on the side and save it to your phone, and that enables for like easy reshares. So you can put that easily on any other apps. Even if you want to repurpose your TikTok content for Reels, you can do so quite easily. If you want to share someone's funny or viral TikTok, you can do it. Um, yeah, you can do it quite easily via just saving that. So for that reason, I kept getting like more curious and curious, and eventually I downloaded TikTok, and now I'm really enjoying it. Like I think it makes you more creative. Instagram sometimes, not sometimes, I'd say most of the time feels like it's more of an aesthetic app. Like you're more like trying to look your best, whereas TikTok is like you can be you. Like right now, like how I've got like no makeup on, just got Vaseline on. I'm just like chatting with you guys, just bossing joke. Like that's what TikTok is like. Whereas Instagram can feel a bit full on in terms of you have to kind of bring your A game to your feed and how it looks because trying to attract brands. Da, 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 da. I mean, on TikTok, you do attract brands as well. There's some people getting some serious brand deals from TikTok, but they still get to do that being themselves and being silly and just being natural. Dami said TikTok is a vibe. Gosha said they're not fighting, they just want to support. I really do appreciate the support. Thank you so much. Never used it before. Sounds fun. Definitely, it's really dope. And obviously, because I can't really play the videos for you guys, I think one trend that I really loved and we shared on the socials, so you guys can definitely check it out after this live. I've been loving the They Chose Violence trend. I think that's been really, really dope. You guys, let me know if you've been seeing that as well. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I don't know why I'm still so nervous about this bogey. You know when you can feel something but like you're not taking anything out? Oh gosh. Apparently TikTok can be plagiarized without you giving creator credit to the original. It's an interesting one. It's interesting you mentioned that actually because I have been wondering why TikTok as an app or why artists are allowing TikTok as an app to use their music because usually that's unheard of, especially on YouTube. You get copyright claims for everything. And I guess you could argue that it's because on TikTok you don't directly make money. Same thing with Instagram Reels as well. You choose music from the library and you use it for your content. Whereas on YouTube, you're not permitted to do the same thing. So I have wondered why TikTok and Reels are permitted. You could argue, like I was saying, that you're not directly making money, but there's a lot of people making money on TikTok, like if you blow. So I do wonder why the copyright is different. Does anybody know about music and why that might be? I shall be expecting. Gracious, thank you so much. Yeah, no, TikTok is quite lit. I'm just gonna wait for the last few comments about TikTok and like any favorite like TikTok apps or whatever. I think it's one of them apps as well that you don't really worry about your following. Like I've just been, if I like your stuff, I follow you. So you guys let me know in the comments like if there's any like good TikTokers. And what do you guys call it? Because I was having this argument with someone. Is it TikToks or is it ticks or talks? Sophie, don't say a word. Because yeah, obviously, what am I thinking of? On Snapchat, you say snaps. On what other apps? Yeah, on Snapchat you say snaps. So why would you say TikToks on TikTok? Why don't you just say TikToks? You guys let me know what you call them. But soon we're going to go into today's chit chat with Mo. Oh, I love Victor. I think that's how you say it. Yeah, it's definitely Victor. He's lit. I think the most funny one of him recently was when there's the video of him where he's saying the mom says, "Come on, put it on my head," and he actually puts it on her head, and he's like, "Touch." She's like she's about to cry. You know, I love Victor. He's so creative. Okay, so let's go straight into chit chat with Mo. If anybody else has anything they want to say about any of those topics, do definitely put that in there straight away. Someone's riding TikToks. Thanks, Nigo. You people, are you gonna let Nigo just show you out tonight? Gracious, you might wanna up your game. I know you said the PayPal thing, but sometimes in the public domain as well. Okay, guys, so let's go straight into chit chat with Mo, and this is the topic. Obviously, February is like the month of love, and we've had a lot of like love themed topics so far on the channel. We talked about kind of like body love with the whole silhouette challenge discussion. We've had what came after that? If anybody can remember, you can just check the channel actually. We talked about natural hair love the following week. And then we talked about like dating and relationships in regards to when a man knows he knows, and also the talking stage and how it can be a scam sometimes in cases where there is confusion being communicated or it's just overly long. Angry reactions on TikTok. I'm gonna check that out. I'm definitely gonna check it out. I think TikTok is that place that it's not really for motivational speakers. You can do motivational speeches, but it's more of a fun app than everything. So even if you want to do motivational speech, you have to make your motivational speeches fun. But yeah, we're gonna go straight into this topic now, which is does keeping your relationship off social media make it last longer? I just want to get an initial feel before I kind of go into it. You guys let me know what you think. Just yeses, nos, and just general like opinions about this. And then we're gonna go in. Let me know what you guys think. Does keeping your relationship off social media make it last a bit longer than usually? And this was prompted by the whole Adesua and Banky W thing, where lots of people made comments that actually can be considered quite insensitive to like pregnant women, and trigger warning women that want to talk about miscarriage. Trigger warning. I'm going to pause now just to kind of let anybody who doesn't want to hear about it move off. Kind of insensitive to women that might have gone through miscarriages. Hi, oh so spontaneous. Hello, hi. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, there was this comment around. You see, it's better to keep your pregnancy private because some of you come and publicize it and bad things happen, which is really insensitive. Like, okay, we thank God that Adesua, she got pregnant and gave birth safely, and the baby and herself, they're healthy. But I think it's a bit insensitive to attribute those that may have not been blessed, blessed with their child at the end of their pregnancy. Very sadly, it's sad. It's a bit insensitive to attribute that to the fact that they posted it online and this happened. I think there is this general conversation about evil eye, as some people call it, or if you're Yoruba, Oju Aye, Aye, people adding eyes basically to your blessings, and the fact that someone somewhere is powerful enough to destroy your blessings. Oh my god, hi Vera, thank you so much. You got a £20 superstar. She's winning so far. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being you. Thank you, girl. Yeah, there's this African mentality. Maria said it, like there's this African mentality, and it's in other cultures as well. Trust me, like I do hear of evil eye even in the Western population as well. People think that the more eyes you have on something, the more likely it's about to go to I don't want to swear, but to shit. So yeah, it's very yeah. I personally, because of how I've been raised, my mom is very religious. My mom's always been like a church woman, and growing up, I used to hear that a lot. Like, it's not everybody that you should tell, the good things that's happening in your life. It's not like Mama Sorrow Jew. She used to always like hone that in me. So even now, as an adult, and as I've gotten to know God for myself, I still sometimes have that anxiety at the back of my mind, like, oh my God, thank you so much, Gracious. We got a 4.99 superstar. Thank you so much. You're awesome. Um, I still have it at the back of my mind that, oh my gosh, should I be sharing this joy? Da, 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 da. And I think something I've come to realize is life pans out, how it's going to pan out, regardless of who you're telling. Who believes in witchcraft, first of all? I think let's start there. Because I think that's where a lot of the anxiety comes from. Like I said, some people believe that the wrong eye on your blessings is enough for it to go to shit. Meaning you're assuming they have enough power to cancel, what God has orchestrated in your life. So who believes in witchcraft? Who believes in, and this is not like a no judgment zone. Like I think I'm half and half. Even though I okay, why I say I'm half and half is that I believe Awaye they exist, but I believe my God is bigger. So it's a thing of it doesn't matter. I believe that even God sometimes can orchestrate the not so great things in your life. I think God can orchestrate suffering in your life. And that's something that a lot of Christians don't want to believe. In some cases, some African Christians as well, they believe that every time something bad is happening in their life, it must be an enemy. It must be witchcraft. It must be something that God had no control over. That just happened to them. Whereas actually, like, I believe sometimes God does allow us to suffer. I believe sometimes God does orchestrate suffering in our life for whatever reason it may be. So people get all poetic with it and they say it's to grow me, etc., etc. Sometimes it's just the reality of life as well. Good things and bad things happen to us. Even as Christians, a lot of people don't want to accept that as a Christian, they can go through suffering. And this is now me detaching it away from the point of sometimes God allows suffering or whatever it may be. But a lot of Christians don't want to believe. They'll be shanda yada ba ba ba. No, I must not suffer. It must be an enemy. But who told you that you're exempt from the human experience because you're some spiritual warlord? Suffering happens. It's not, it's just sometimes that we feel we're above suffering. So sometimes it's hard for us to accept. And then we begin to come up with theories as to why it happened. Outside of it's a human experience, the yin and yang, the good and bad that happens in life. So let's just see. Somebody said, oh, it's just spontaneous said, nope, if it's going to crash and burn, it will eventually social media or not. So this is someone a very strong opinion that. Thank you so much for that comment, by the way. I'm just gonna drink some water. So this is someone that believes that social media has no part to play in it. Like, regardless, it's about the pair of you and I guess the president and the foundation, the tone that you set for one another within your relationship. So we've got Semi says it depends. If you are someone that shares a lot of your life on social media, if you share your wins in life, um why not your significant other? Yes, thank you so much for that comment as well. I do believe that, bloggers, YouTubers, social media personalities, there is this, I guess, pressure I think we sometimes feel because we are media personalities and we are online in the online space to kind of share everything that happens in our life. And I'm very two ways about this. I believe that, one of my gifts is vulnerability, that God has given me the gift of just sharing things that's happened, both the good and the bad. Because I do, hear a lot of people say that, oh, influencers, they only share the good things happening in their life. They're curating a life that makes people feel like they can't achieve. But there are YouTubers, bloggers, media personalities like myself that also share the not so great things that happens in life. Um, yeah, I think I'm half and half. I believe in setting the right foundation for your relationship, regardless of whether it's on social media or not. I'm more of a let's build before we share. And even with the things that have happened in my life so far, even when I come and share a testimony or I come and share a bad experience, trust me, if it's a bad experience, I've done the healing, I've done the crying, I've spoken to my group of counselors. I've healed before I shared. So much so, I think sometimes like I get a flood of comments when like maybe I share like an experience that was not so great, and it's like I'm just like I'm happy by that time because it's like I've healed through it. And same thing with happy news. I think let it marinate, enjoy it for yourself, and share as time as the spirit leads. I'm a very spirit-led person, not a sermon, but yeah, I'm a very spirit-led person. If God says, okay, now I want you to share, um who am I to say? A lot of the things that I've shared is literally been like I've been thinking or meditating on, okay, what should I share on YouTube this week, for example. And the Holy Spirit might just be like, I think it's time for you to share that joy, or I think it's time for you to share that thing you overcame. And I can't argue with that. Like, I'm nothing but a vessel being used by God. um, let's see some other comments. Maria says, I think it depends. It definitely depends. And I guess one thing that's quite good to throw out there, thank you so much, Maria, for that, throw out there as well. Speaking of like YouTubers and even I think just everyone, everyday people, doesn't necessarily have to be a celebrity or Yelebrity. Um, I guess the question to kind of throw in there at this point is, does hmm, is there added pressure from like not just extra eyes, but extra mouths? In a sense of when there is like extra commentary on a relationship beyond like the immediate circle of friends, trusted friends and family, can there be added pressure from social media? Because I think that can happen when there's like, we've seen on social media, on YouTube, like YouTube couples when they break up and, for example, they decide they don't want to share why at all or right now. You see a lot of people that are like, well, you shared, we helped build your platform. We deserve to know. A lot of people feel very entitled. Like, and that's not to me being holier than now. I've probably done it in the past, like Kamakuro. Feeling very entitled to the entire story, feeling like you are the third person in the relationship. So much so that there's this entitlement, there's commentary, there's a bit of overwatching in terms of, oh, what's the temperature of their relationship right now? Maybe reading a bit too much into, like, I was watching this YouTube couple the other day, and even I was doing that in terms of, I was like, oh, did they have a fight today? Like, I was trying to gauge like the energy that they were putting out. And I think that can be the danger sometimes when you add extra eyes and mouths into your relationship, in the sense of you become like over probed by the public, and you become almost like a circus for them to be watching, a freak show on it, for them to be commenting on, clapping, crying when you cry, that kind of thing. It feels like an extra, not just one person for the couple themselves, but an extra million or thousands of people kind of watching to see what's next. And you don't really want your relationship to be like a spectacle and entertainment. Like I said at the start, guys, please like this video as you're watching. Like. Use the hashtag ChitChatWithMo or the Mochunk Show Live. Just going to read some comments now whilst I type that up quickly. Chit chat with Mo. Okay, I've got here, I think exposing your relationship to thousands of strangers therefore has an impact, and I think to pretend it shouldn't impact individuals is disingenuous depending on their own social media experience. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think if you are someone that is like quite popular on social media, I think you do have to double think how much you can handle. And I think that's like why I say I'm half and half. Like double think how much you can handle, not just praise, not just criticism, but also praise as well. Will it overinflate certain things in your relationship? Will criticism kind of make some things worse in your relationship? Like, and the internet will talk. Like people talk, and they talk about people as not people, but as things, as a topic. um so yeah, I think you do need to analyze within yourself. Can I handle the pressure that comes with being a social media personality based on my relationship? I think that's a question that you need to ask. And if the answer is no, I would just save yourself and not put yourself through that hassle. Of course, there are people that are able to, let us in on some things without telling us the full picture. Like I vlog on YouTube. For about a year I didn't vlog because I just, in that season of my life, I did not want to share anything behind the scenes. I've only recently started vlogging again, but I have definitely mastered the skill of like showing enough and not showing everything and keeping some things to myself. And like I said, I tell a lot of stories in retrospect as well. Things might have happened and then you get to know them. So it's just a way for me to kind of keep that boundary between, as much as I love my supporters and my audience, I think that you still have to maintain boundaries between, but of course, if it's your calling again, who are you to argue with that? Maria said African mentality. Yeah, it's a serious African mentality. Like my mom is. Oh, I've missed a lot of comments actually. Wow. Okay, let's go through this. Thank you so much. Someone said 14.99. Thank you so much. I'm gonna get to it. Let me read the comments. I've actually missed a lot. So sorry, guys. I've been rambling on. Dami said, not necessarily. It only gives people a false sense of access into your life. Exactly. This is what I was talking about, the entitlement thing. Whether your relationship lasts or not is down to the two parties in the relationship. Yes, definitely very, very true. And like I said, I think there is that added pressure sometimes to show off. Like I said, the temperature of your relationship, you might have had an argument that day, but because you have a video scheduled later, you have to pretend like all is well. I think, yeah, that's one of like the dangers, and pretending like everything is okay. And oh yeah, I can't imagine how hard that is. Princess said probably because it takes a lot of self-confidence to post. Excuse me. It takes a lot of, let me just drink some water. My throat is getting dry. Thank you guys so much for the interaction. I'm really loving this, by the way. Somebody said probably because it takes a lot of self-confidence to post just to save the highlights of your life and not to prove something to others. The latter suggests that you're insecure about your relations. Yes, honestly, like it does. It's a lot to kind of post intimate details of your life, and of course highlights of your life as well. Because yeah, someone said I think balance is key. Creating that balance. Thanks so much, Maria, for that. Semi said, I feel like we give people too much power. That's very true. And again, it's a matter of analyzing who you are as a person. Like me, I know I cannot handle extra pressure from multiple people like commenting on, like I said, the temperature of my relationship, like trying to analyze what's going on. I personally cannot handle that. So it's a thing where, you know, by God's grace, I have a healthy family, healthy babies, and we're living a good life. Yeah, like, but I'd show them from time to time, but I'd still want my channel to be, you know of course we have productions, but like my vlog, I still want them to be, I mean, I guess it's difficult as a family woman to not show your family all the time, but I still want the focus to be Mo, if that makes sense. Yeah, it's about finding the balance at the end of the day. Vanessa said I do, it's real. I'm guessing you're talking about witchcraft and evil eye and all of that. Yeah, like I said, I believe it exists, but I don't believe it's stronger than God and the one that protects me. Honestly, I don't believe in evil eye. I do believe that not everything is communicated to everyone. Very true. I like very, very true. Thank you so much. Also spontaneous. Esther said evil eye. Dami said wisdom. What's the reason? Um, yeah, my God is bigger than witchcraft. Honestly, let's see. See, I've missed a lot. Tindy, hi, thank you so much for joining. See, they said, I wonder what it's like when it came to relationship before social media. I don't remember anyone making a big deal out of all of this. It's so true. I actually sometimes look at, you guys know I love my Nollywood, right? I sometimes look at all these like Nollywood couples that are like 40 years down the line or whatever it may be. For you, it might be Hollywood couples, but for me, it's Nollywood couples. And I'm like, I'm so happy that they got to experience their relationship off social media. Like now they're sharing their joy and they're celebrating how many years of togetherness and da 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 da. But you know they've gone the stretch of the journey before they've come to talk online. There is this thing that a lot of people do soon as they get married, especially within the Christian community. Yeah, they start doing, Christian ministry as a couple. If it's your genuinely, if it's your genuine calling, again, like kudos to you, and like we thank God for the ministry that you're doing. But if it's just to kind of jump on a wave, and because we know relationships pop online, I think we kind of need to question our motives a bit more. Like I really admire the couples, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I wonder what it was like, before social media. um Soul with You says, reminds me of the story of Job. He was so blessed, it drew attention, but nonetheless, what's yours is yours. No evil can change that. They may try to delay it, but still. Sasha said, yes, Adele. Adele, oh, I've lost it. Oh my gosh. Adela talked about this in a recent video that some subscribers have a sense. Yes, I watched this video. She talks about this in a recent video that some subscribers have a certain sense of entitlement, and I personally think it's wrong. She called it something relationships. Let's find her. You guys should check this video out. Let's see if I can find her right now. Who knows her? Yeah, Adela Afadi. I'm just gonna type it. She talked about. Oh, it's not loading. 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 What's shocking back on? Parasocial relationships. She spoke about parasocial relationships and how sometimes it can be one way in terms of from the audience to the influencer, and the influencer doesn't necessarily, she has love for you in terms of thank you for supporting me and always watching and communicating. She recognizes some of her subscribers, like she knows their name, but it's like that's it. And sometimes she spoke about how in these one-way relationships somehow it can be more overinflated in the subscriber or audience member's mind, so much so that there's like an entitlement of the level of friendship that they have and how much they share. Yeah, it was a really interesting video. You guys should definitely check it out. Lori Harvey and Michael B. Jordan come to mind. Oh my gosh, even I did this. Come up, bro. I did this in terms of analyzing, are they actually together? But actually, yeah, eventually I remember it's actually none of my business. Like, Mo, shop by, go and mind your own business. It's none of your business if they're together or it's for a stance or whatever it may be. Of course, sometimes I'll report on these things, but I shouldn't have a personal entitlement to knowing what's the temperature of their relationship. Let's see, this automatic couples ministry. It's we have to kind of think about somebody said our marriage ministries recent. Where were they 20 years ago? I think these things existed, but not necessarily online. So I think people would gather. I think people would talk in their friendship groups. I think churches would organize events. Obviously it's not as, I mean, word of mouth was more of the thing that spreaded things, but I think more now it's just online, excuse me, and a bit more amplified. Gracious, thank you so much for the $14.99 on the superstars. If you want to give or you want to support the channel, it's a superstar sticker, the smiley face. You can give as little as £1 or whatever you want to, just to kind of support the ministry, support the YouTube. When I say ministry, I mean YouTube. I didn't say I'm starting a church, please. But in the description box as well, there's a PayPal link if you prefer to give that way. He said sharing too much online can cause over familiarity. This is it. Peeps that have never met you think they know you. Shine your eye, well, people. And that's the thing. I think there is that over familiarity when you're a bit of an open person online. Like, sometimes like I'll get some comments on here and I'll side eye like, but you just have to I will try and be kind to people regardless. But yeah, some people can become a bit over familiar with the way they speak to you and etc. Sasha said, when I was in a relationship, I only used to post my partner on socials or Snapchat, but people still took screenshots. Like, auntie, why can't you just admire and go? This is what I'm talking about. People don't know their limits. Yeah, people don't know their limits, and I guess even as a platform, as a publication, there's something that we're very big on, and that's like, for example, if there's a speculation about a couple being together, for example, Adekule Gold and Simi, um, even if I have a personal inclination that okay, this might be happening, I won't join the speculation. Like I won't post until they're ready to post. When Simi had her baby, did she have a baby or was she pregnant? There was rumors that Simi was pregnant, yes. And I saw the videos and stuff that were showing the bomb, but the integrity of MCV is that if the couple are not ready to share that with the world, why are you going out of your way to share it for them? I think that's one thing that I don't really like about social media. That extra investigation that we like to do when clearly like the individual or the couple is not ready to share certain things. I personally have like a disdain for that. I don't like it. I think let people share when they're ready to share. Like this whole thing you're talking about screenshot. That's why a lot of people don't post their children on social media as well, because there's a lot of weirdos online, and it's not necessarily just strangers, it's people in your circle as well that kind of go overboard. Sorry guys, I'm looking for my Vaseline. Oh, there you are. People kind of go overboard. Don't forget to like the video, guys. I'm currently working on some merchandise for the Mochunk show. So we have like some MCTV merchandise. In fact, I want to redesign that logo. I feel like it's a bit bulky, but the Mochunk say logo, I'm in love with it. I want to do like some mugs like this so we can sip as we're doing watch training and chit chat with Mo. I want to do like t-shirts and stuff like that. You guys let me know if you'd be interested. Like I'll try and make them affordable as well. Where's it? So Dammy said I've got my YouTube marriage ministry ready for when I get married, and it's always from the wedding video. That's the pattern. It's always from the wedding video, and then that blows, and then they're like, "Oh, let's start a YouTube channel," and then you know what I mean. Again, if it's your genuine calling, I'm not mad at you. Let's see other comments. Keisha, hi Keisha, thanks so much for joining us. I think it depends on the two individuals involved, because people can know your relationship, but they don't necessarily need to see the person until you're both ready. And I'm on this table. I'm in an amazing relationship, like all glory to God. And I will share bits like, like the studio gifting. I think that was probably the first time that a lot of you knew that I had a partner, because I said that my partner got me the studio. And what else? Maybe my birthday, just little bits like that. But until I'm personally ready, like I'm glad that I have a circle of subscribers as well that don't necessarily pressure me. Like they're happy for me. They're like, yes, you go, sis. But I don't have those inner followers yet. I guess the bigger you get, the more you get subscribers like that. Maria said it looks different to different people. No, without there, I'm not a minister. Oh, please. I think it's a bit unwise if you're married for 2 to 3 seconds and you're already giving marriage advice. Yeah, I do. Yeah. Another thing that we have to stop doing as soon as we get married, giving advice to the singles. Who sent you? Like, and it's always quite patronizing advice as well. Like, just wait on the Lord. Don't worry, y'all will come. Just work on yourself. As if something was wrong with the person anyway. Meanwhile, a lot of these things is just grace, it's time and chance. You can be the most like amazing man or woman. But if it's not your time, it's not your time. If it's not the chance, if not it's time and chance in the sense of if you're not if you haven't encountered your partner, how is the relationship going to happen? Yeah, I always used to say on Twitter, I did say, yeah, please tell them, like, how do you pronounce your name? Is that Mewa or Mewa? Because the W might be silent. Mewa. Please, on behalf of all singles, leave the singles alone. Like yeah. What about a single person to office? I think that's a valid. I think that's very valid. I definitely used, and I remember like on Valentine's Day, I was very hesitant about like sharing like I had a really great Valentine's Day because I was like, oh, like I've done so much work in like singles ministry when I was single. And I kind of had like the Holy Spirit say to me, like, Mo, you've used your single season well. Like, it's when you're single that you should be talking to other singles about singleness, not when you're throwing it back and you're enjoying that thing every night and day. And you now come and be telling somebody about celibacy. Zip it. Zip, zip. If you're throwing it back every night, don't tell me about celibacy. Don't come and don't let the singles minister to other singles because they truly understand. I think it's more authentic anyway. They truly understand what they're both going through at the same time. A lot of people will tell you, oh, but they were single before, but you're not anymore. We are not the same. We are not the same. Like the emotions attached to it is completely different. The empathy, I think, as well, that you will use to deliver the message when you're going through something as well is different. And that's why a lot of, or not a lot of, some people, when they do get married, it's very, the advice is patronizing because you're not there anymore. You're not feeling that pain of loneliness anymore. And that's not to say that all single people are lonely. Don't misquote me, but we do, some of us, we do desire relationships. We do want to be with someone, and somebody will come and be telling you, someone who has someone will come and be telling you it's okay. It's like, it's patronizing. Like, leave them alone. Like, talk to let other singles talk to other people about single season. But yeah, like I was saying about the Valentine's thing, yeah, like those people really just telling like, Mo, you've used your single season well. Like, you've organized events, you've talked, like you've bought gifts for single people, like you've done. Do you understand? And I think if someone like me was to carry on that line, it's more authentic than you didn't say ha when you were single. All of a sudden you got married and now you have mouth for the singles. From where to where? Like, from where to where? You're just being patronizing. Someone said, like, who told you wanted to be married? That's another thing, like assuming everybody wants to be in the confines of a marriage. That's not the case. Somebody said, don't forget the worry, don't forget the don't worry, I'm praying for you. Who's Shay talking to? Hi Shay, thank you so much. Um, yes, I personally always used to have people saying season of singleness. Like, hello, for some people it isn't a season, it will be forever. That's true. Not everybody will get married. I remember I saw a post recently um on Instagram, and it was like, Christians, hello, are you listening? God does not owe you marriage. Ooh, ooh. Just because you were a good girl, or you were in the choir, or you kept your virginity, or what else do people think entitles them? God doesn't owe you marriage. Sometimes you need to get out there and meet people, but you're waiting for God to drop a man into your lap just because you served in the choir. That is some people's stories, but it's not everybody's stories. And again, this is my problem with all these single ministries. We've gone way, of course, off topic, haven't we? My problem with all these single ministries, you will hear those people come and tell you a story of how their husband saw them in a vision. Meanwhile, it was one church auntie that hooked them up together. Lori Raw, stop lying. It was one church auntie that said, have you seen Sister Grace recently? And him too, because he's Jesus. Yeah, bro. Ah, somebody said, let's see. Mo, are you on Christian Twitter? Did you see the whole don't deprive your husband debate on Twitter? Yeah, I saw that. And again, it's a very sensitive topic. And I do think this is something that we do need to be like, careful of in the church. Like, yeah, I think there's so much to talk about in the church. I'm thinking God is depositing some ideas in my heart. I'm not going to talk about it yet, but yeah, I think there's a way our language, trigger warning, I'm going to talk about sexual assault. So if you don't want to if you don't want to hear it, I'm going to give you a moment to just step out of the live stream. Yeah. Some of our language around sex, women's bodies, marriage, relationships, I believe enable rape culture in the church. Um, yeah, the whole don't deprive your husband thing. I mean, first of all, why are these topics only discussed one-sided? Um, I mean, there is that scripture that says, that you belong to each other, but at the center of everything, or the theme is love in the Bible. If you love somebody, you wouldn't be forcing them to sleep with you based on you need it and you're this quote unquote on hungry man that cannot control themselves. And that's another issue within the body. That's another thing that I believe the church has done. Um, make Portraying men to be these creatures that are unable to control themselves. So much so that when they're married, they now have control over their wives' bodies. I saw a thread based on the whole Raki Zachariah situation. I don't know whether you guys know about what's happened. I've got a video coming about. I've planned it in my schedule sometime in March. I'll discuss it. Let me know if you're looking forward to that. Just let me know in the comment section. But yeah, I'll be discussing that. And she basically highlighted how the church has contributed to this using excerpts from like a very popular book that a lot of the men in that kind of region of the church had like read. And it's just perpetuating rape culture. Like, you must not deprive if your sex life is not, it's not just on one person. Sex life is the responsibility of two parties, but also it should be done in love, and it should be a thing of service to one another, mutual service, loving service, not that I must. If I'm not in the mood, I might have had a long day. And vice versa, you as well, you might have had a long day, and I should love you enough to not demand or be told that I'm depriving you. Is it food? Sean Jenny, is it food? Maria said, I think they can share from their past experience, but not in a patronizing way. Like I said, it's the people that are able to do that. It's usually the people that they've been talking about it even whilst they were single. And it's just been a natural, authentic transition. In a sense of they're still able to connect because they had a genuine passion, and it's not just because they got married and they think they've made it. Because I think that's the mistake some people make, is that they feel like being married gives them a license to be a relationship coach. Meanwhile, a lot of these things, a lot of these blessings, they are blessings, like glory to God. Thank God you got married, like give glory for that blessing. Um, but they feel like that gives them the license. And it's not because you were great, it's not because you were awesome, it's not because you're that fantastic that you got married. It's literally just time and chance, grace. God blessed you with it because He's a blesser, not because you earned it. Yeah. So Cindy says season of singleness, the way words have been carved out to describe the situation. I mean, yeah, I used to use this lingo. I used to use this lingo because I genuinely stopped. Let's see, let's just retweet Dami on Twitter. Thank you so much, Dami, for sharing. Yeah, guys, please share if you can. Use the hashtag TMCS Live and also chat with Mo. What was I saying? I've lost my train of thoughts. I used season of singleness to describe the time in my life where I decided to be intentionally single. Again, that's like Christianese that you pick up in the church. But there was a time in my life, I think it was second year of university, till like maybe third year, I decided not to date anybody, just to kind of learn myself a bit more, heal some things intentionally. I stopped going for those single ministries, honestly. Like, I remember when I was in Leicester, especially, there used to be like these singles balls. And I was like, I know what you're doing. You just want to hook us up with one another. People make their how we met story super magical, like relax. Yeah, a lot of the time it's not as, yeah. Yeah. And you also know, I know we've gone off topic. You also know who I don't want to hear from in terms of celibacy. Those couples that got married within like 3 to 6 months. I'm sorry. I don't want to hear from you. Let the people that waited 5 years come and talk to me about how they never opened their pants. Let them talk to me. I can believe that a bit more, or I can be encouraged. It's not that I can believe, I can be more encouraged by that kind of story. Well, if you're telling me that you met that auntie hooked you up, within 3 months you were engaged, within another 3 months you were married, like, I mean, how much temptation did you really have to run away from? But anyway, that's kind of aside. um Self-control is the foot of the spirit. They need to tell some men that. Yeah, like, I think that's my thing. I think the church has focused on women for a long time. We've gone off topic, oh my goodness. The church has focused on women for so long that I think it's created the John Grays, the Ravi Zachariah, and they are like men in high place, like they're men in power as well. So it's not just, like I said, trigger warning, sexual assault. It's also spiritual abuse, um, from someone on the top to somebody in the congregation. Would love to hear your view on Ravi. Can't wait for the video. It's heartbreaking. The evangelical view of, yeah. I didn't even know about all this evangelical charisma. What is Kilo Day? Is it not Jesus we're all serving? What's all these titles that we've kind of made, that everyone knows about? It was, I had Kojo on the show maybe 2 weeks ago, and he was saying evangelical. I was like, what is all this? I did not know. I knew that we had like Catholic, Pentecostal, Reformed. That's another one. I'm like, oh my leo, this is serious. Um, I agree. The couples married since 18 talking to singles. Like, what waiting did you do? Please, I beg, go sit down. Yeah, they need to focus on the men. Does anybody have any questions for me? Because I also wanted to do like maybe like a mini Q&A, because I would like to have a catch up with you guys in terms of how life is. Any questions you have for me? Are there any couples as well, actually, that you guys would maybe sad or disappointed that they broke up? Maybe those that kind of shared their relationship with you, and do you feel like it was the added social media pressure that took that away? Because I know a lot of people had, a lot to say about people like Jamie and Nikki. There was this couple where Nikita and what's the guy's name? If anybody can remember Nikita's boyfriend, what's the name? Sophie, do you know?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, but I can't remember his name. He was the guy that did the jobless top.
Yeah. Jobless t-shirts. Yeah, there was Terrell and Nikita. Yes.
Terrell Lewis.
Thank you so much, Nessa, Michaela. Yeah, Terrell Lewis and Nikita. Their breakup was dramatic, wasn't it, guys? Yeah, it was dramatic. Thank you so much, Nigo. Yeah. Their one was one that a lot of people were like, okay, like you've brought us in and now you don't want to say. And then there was the stories on the both side. This is what I mean. Like when it kind of, or if, like let's not say when, if it goes to top, there's that explanation that you have to do. Come in like notes app, like on YouTube to come and say what happened. Tindy said, to be honest, I was not disappointed about anyone because marriage is not easy. It's true. That's why I said it's not because you were so fantastic that you got married. We are all still a work in progress. Nobody is perfect. Because you got married, again, like those in the church, those aunties, it's not because you're perfect or more perfect than the lady who's single, that you got married. Sometimes it's just grace, time, chance. God just decided, oh yeah, you marry now. Look more like me. Do you understand? And that's the thing. That's what a lot of people don't understand about marriage. Again, I don't want to preach. God, Mr. Moore, it's really coming to pass, isn't it? Marriage is meant to reflect like our relationship with Christ. Do you know what I mean? Like it's meant to look like God's love towards us and how we share that love with Him. So if anything, like marriage is to reflect the glory back to God and to make you look back onto God. It's like a mirror. It really emphasizes your imperfections. If anything, you see yourself more. If you're doing it right anyway, you're meant to see your shortcomings a lot more. Not that somebody will be saying that you're bad, but you should see yourself as less perfect when you do, and you see what those areas that you can work on. Of course, like don't be a terror. Don't be a terror. Just because we're saying no one's perfect doesn't mean go and just behave like a mad person. But yeah, like I don't believe it's because you were more perfect that you got married, which is why again, like I really agree with Cindy saying that marriage is not easy. It really is a mirror. Things get magnified, especially when kids get come into it, and it's a matter of you need to apply grace each and every single day. I did read a quote somewhere, and those of you that might be married, do comment if you agree or disagree with this. But I read something somewhere where somebody said that marriage is endless forgiveness. And again, if you think about our relationship with Christ and the way He loves us, is endless forgiveness. Like He's already forgiven us when He died on the cross. Like justified forever, unless we fall away, which is some people describe as you denouncing the faith, you don't have faith. But like the fact I can't do anything to take away God's love for me. Like marriage is, I'm choosing to love you, even though, you know, I don't like the way you put water all over the floor when you bath. It's the minor things, the major things to, I don't like how you speak to me when you're upset. It's endless forgiveness. Think about it, guys. Can you do that? Hey, some people will not think it's because they're perfect. Hey, Lord. Can you endlessly forgive somebody? When I did that the other day, I was like, whew, whew. Naila or Nala? Sophie, come and see this name for me. Sophie is like my British translator. Is it Naila or Nyla?
Nyla.
Nyla. Hi Nyla. Thank you so much for joining us. I was sad about Jamie and Nikki. I wonder why they divorced from time to time, but it's not a business, I guess. I mean, she did do a video where she was like, she had this dream, where like she had like a vision of her like looking after her kids on her own. And she felt like that was God's way of saying to her that, excuse me, she felt like that was God's way of saying to her that soon this is gonna end. So that was quite interesting. But a lot of people were like, why would God give you that kind of vision before you get married to somebody? That God, or why would God give you that kind of vision because God doesn't like divorce? Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, isn't it? Yeah, that was really sad. Any other couples that you guys were kind of sad about? Um, got people stop believing in love. This is a really interesting point that you've raised, Semi. Thank you so much for that. Because I've actually seen a lot of commentary around this because there's like couples around us, or someone tweeted that your parents have been in a marriage for like 30, 40 years, and you know that's not enough to make you believe in love, but like your favorite YouTube couple breaks up and all of a sudden you don't believe in love. Um, but I guess some people have also seen their parents enduring their marriage rather than enjoying their marriage. And this maybe perhaps because a lot of YouTube couples only show us the highlight of their relationship, it can almost draw us into this facade of what a relationship looks like. So when we're in our parents' house, for example, we see the good and the bad. We see the arguments, you know, although, you know, a lot of parents do endeavor not to argue in front of their friends in front of their children, but you see the bad times, you see when your parents don't have as much money, you see the ups and downs. Compare that to a YouTube couple that only shows you their highlight reels of their relationship anyway, not necessarily of their life but of their relationship. Yeah, it's very easy to get drawn into the facade of what or how good their love was. And that's not to say the love wasn't good, but in terms of stop imagining it so Disney like. Excuse me, stop imagining so Disney like in a sense of this is all good and perfect. Good love still has imperfections. That should go on a t-shirt. Good love still has imperfections. Good love is not free of problems. There will be ups and downs, but it's a matter of the friendship and the love that you've built that will get you through it. Someone said I found it on your channel. I believe that was the Nikita thing. Yeah, that I think that was one of the videos that made this channel like blow up in terms of I think a lot of creatives we blow up in seasons, in terms of you get a surge of subscribers and then it's like a bit more steady, and then another surge. Like there's different videos that do that for different channels, and one of the first after uni for me was the Terrell and Nikita situation, and it was when there was like rumors that trigger warning that apparently was tapping on her window or something. God, I couldn't. Yeah, that news was so interesting. Yeah. Um, let's see. Oh yeah, Crept and Sasha. Oh yeah, yeah. That was really sad. I was like, I didn't want to post that on MCTV because I could see that a lot of people were debating not them together, but Sasha. That wasn't nice. I don't know. Sometimes I just don't like to open people up to that kind of drama. Gracious said theological debates based on people's interpretation of scripture. Lord, please help us to be led by the Holy Spirit who will lead us all into truth. Amen. Amen. And thank you so much for that 499. Thank you so, so much. Karen Ojo. Oh my gosh, we had the same surname, girl. I'm an Ojo too. Tindy said Nikki seemed so relieved when she left her marriage. She even said she should have divorced earlier. That's the thing, again, you don't really know what's going on. But I'm also of the opinion that you know, there's this thing that people do sometimes. And I have friends that do it as well. They will say things like, oh, you never know what's really going on in their marriage. It may not be that good just because they don't want to be happy for somebody, or perhaps some people might have things they're not happy particularly about their life, and they're like, oh, that person is forming, or they're pretending, just because they happen to be showing you their highlights. um and it's interesting because I think we need to get to a place where we understand that nothing is without its problems, but it doesn't mean that good moment wasn't worth sharing, or it means that the entire relationship is fake. It just means that sometimes you're seeing a side of the puzzle. And it doesn't mean that it makes it any less good. It doesn't mean that that marriage isn't good. It doesn't mean that, something that people do as well with people that have money, for example, they'll say, oh, they're probably banging fraud. Or they might have a really great job, you know, and they might have a good work life balance. Like sometimes things really are what they seem, and they're having a good life because they're busy watering their grass. Meanwhile, you're there analyzing their grass, saying, is it real? Is it fake? And not focusing on watering your own. So it's kind of like a thing I think people do to kind of comfort themselves about where they might be in life, or things that they might not be quite happy with, or it's probably not that good anyway. It's probably fake anyway. It was probably really good. It just was an experience for them, and it ended. Um, Somebody said relationships in general are difficult in general, and these aunties aren't telling us half the marriage story. Almost telling me, I grew up Nigerian, and I didn't just grow up in the UK. I grew up in Nigeria till I was 10. So Ojumi, and that simply means I've seen, like my eyes have seen, some terrible marriages, but they've also seen some good ones. I believe in my process of healing, part of my process of healing was God exposing me to like new marriages. Like I used to babysit for someone, and I used to spend a lot of time in their house, and it was like I remember just, seeing them eating dinner together. I was like, oh God, y'all do this? Seeing the husband coming home and kissing his wife, like they watch a movie together. I'm like, like wow, this is nice. That was part of my healing process. In terms of seeing how good marriage can be. But very early on growing up, wow, like I saw some really sad things going on in marriages that kind of scared me. But yeah, a lot of these aunties, they've definitely been mutes. Sometimes it's just you happen to see. It's not that they told you, you just happen to see some of the suffering that's happened. You've seen these videos that go viral on Instablog where a man would not just I don't want to be sexist, okay? So sometimes, let's just say sometimes, like a man would be chasing his wife and like beating her. You see those videos go viral on like Instablog and so we've seen some really terrible, especially if you live in Nigeria where a lot of people behave lawlessly. Um, excuse me, I believe in the UK it might be a bit more hidden, and that's not to say it's never happened, but it might be a bit more hidden because obviously if you're beating somebody outside, they're gonna arrest your ass. Like, but in Nigeria, so one auntie will come from the village and say, "Forgive your husband." Women have women in Nigeria. They have some of them have suffered, but I do thank God for like showing me that healthy is possible. I think that was part of my healing process, seeing that healthy is possible, and then believing it for myself. That was tough. Like believing that I was worthy of healthy love, based on what I've seen and the background that I come from. That was really hard for me. And that was probably why like I got into a lot of like toxic relationships, a lot of relationships that were really not God's plan for me. Prior to meeting my amazing partner, like shout out to him. um yeah, prior to that I didn't believe I was worthy. I remember even like just before we got together, like one exercise I did, and I believe this was very significant. And like I literally just wrote out all the amazing things about me. And again, it's not to say that I earned a relationship. I don't want to portray that narrative at all. But I think the Holy Spirit just wanted me in that moment to believe that I'm worthy of healthy. I'm worthy of like good love. I'm worthy of a love that looks like God, because God is love. Regardless of my past, regardless of where I come from, regardless of the things that I've seen. Yeah, it was the believing for me that was, I saw it, and then it was like, believe that you can have that more. Um, Somebody said no relationship is easy. Absolutely not. Like I said, endless forgiveness. So if you're struggling to forgive and you're only at a relationship level, think about forever. I think one of the ways that I began to understand love outside of romantic love was actually my relationship with my siblings. And seeing, siblings, we fight. We will, like, you love them to bits, yeah, but a little argument can ensue over somebody ate my chicken, or something silly, or you want my top, something silly like that. And like, the love still remains the same. I don't know how it is for other siblings, and I know some siblings are definitely a war forever. Yes, Peter and Paul come to mind. P Square. This fight. They don't want to finish it. Okay. Who knows about the Peter and Paul fights? Please let me know in the comment section down below. But yeah, that was one of my first like understanding of like unconditional love and forgiveness, in a sense of you can beef your sibling for like 2 hours or whatever it may be. I'm very easily forgiven. 2 hours a day, whatever. The next day you're like joking around again, and that's because the love and the friendship doesn't change just because something happened. That was like my first insight into what endless love and endless forgiveness looks like, in the sense of you still love them. I think never forget that if you are in a relationship and you are like maybe going through like difficulties or whatever. I can't speak on marriage right now. But yeah, or even if your siblings, friendships, remember that love never changes because something bad happened, or because you experience like a tension or whatever. Like, work through it if you know that that person is for you and you know that the love is true. I believe true love never dies, and if you truly love the person, the love should still remain the same. So my siblings taught me that, actually, and I now apply that, in my relationship as well. Um, would you say that you're a feminist? If you are, how do you balance that? Oh, the Q&A question. I actually forgot. Thank you so much, Nyla. So it's interesting. Um, it's interesting. I believe in equality of the sexes, and I believe God doesn't see us based on gender. I think there's a scripture. I don't know the exact scripture. If anyone knows it, please comment. I always say I'm not that versed in scripture in terms of this is here in Corinthians, something about neither male nor female or something like that. Like, God doesn't see us like that. He just sees us as beings, as his children. Um, Somebody was, we were discussing the other day on Twitter about feminism. Is Jesus a feminist? The example that I always give is the woman that was caught in adultery. The men were about to stone her, and he simply came up and said, who's without sin, let them throw the first stone. And little by little, that means they disappeared. And just to show that no one is without sin, number one, but also what was really significant to me was that if we're bringing it back into modern times, God did not allow them to slut shame her, because it was the man and the woman that were caught in adultery. They were both doing the thing. She was throwing it back, he was receiving it. She was throwing it back, he was receiving it. But only one was about to get stoned. Okay, and God was like, what we're not finna do is slut shame her. Okay, like he told her like go and sin no more, but it's very significant. It's very significant for me that he advocated for her. He advocated. Yeah, it was very significant that he was an advocate for her. And to me, I wouldn't box Jesus into that Jesus is feminine. I wouldn't box him into a sociological term. I saw an interesting tweet that somebody said I wouldn't box him, but I do believe he believed in the equality of sexes, and that's kind of my stance. Like, if you wanted to label me, you'd probably label me a feminist, but I don't label myself as anything really. But I am really and truly like an advocate for all. I don't like people being maltreated based on anything, gender, sex, sexual orientation. I can't stand injustice in a sense of, because you're this, I'm going to treat you like this. Like, I don't believe in that. So I think you could label me a feminist, but I don't label myself a feminist. Oh my god, I've been following you for years and I never knew that. Oh gosh, what did I say? Oh, the name, yeah, Ojo. Yeah, that's my surname. I'm an Ojo, and it's a rare surname as well, so we might somewhere somehow be related. So like we might all be, yeah, it's a very like tiny agbole, or how do they say that thing? I don't know. So any other questions, please do ask. Somebody said, Princess, hi. She said, do you think that maybe the churches and society's emphasis on virtuous women having kids and having godly sex rushes people into toxic marriages too quickly? It's interesting. Again, guys, please like the live stream. Do share. Hashtag ChitChatWithMo on Twitter or wherever you may want to share. Share this with your friends so they can join in the conversation as well. And also, don't forget the superstars. If you want to give, there's a sticker right underneath where it says say something. You can give as little as £1 to donate to the channel for its running, etc., etc., etc. There's also a PayPal link in the description box if you would like to give something to the channel. Thank you so much for your support, and thank you so much to everyone that's given so far. I hope I haven't missed any other superstars. Um, I will say this concerning what you said, and I was thinking about it recently actually. Um, so a lot of the time, people's view of godly sex can make you feel like that's all it takes to be a good candidate for a husband or for a wife. Let me explain or let me land. Um, like I remember, like I spoke to somebody and told them that I was in a relationship, and the first thing they asked me was, "Are you guys having sex?" Um, and first of all, that's very invasive. Like this is the first time I'm talking to you about my relationship. It wasn't, does he treat you right? It wasn't, what's his relationship like with God? It wasn't, is he a genuine Christian? Like there was no other question after. It was just that one thing she wanted to know. It was like, and to me, Christian relationships, Christian marriages are more than not having sex before marriage and having sex in marriage. There's more to the relationship than transition from sex, no sex to sex. And it's like that was, yeah, I think a lot of people can end up in toxic marriages just simply because somebody paraded themselves as a Christian and they didn't have sex before marriage. And it's like that's not really, like, how is that the only issue? I mean, if you want it to be part of, fair enough, part of, but not the only sole reason why you enter into a relationship. Just because he's a pastor, just because you guys were able to abstain, doesn't mean that they've met character requirements of what it means to be a good husband, a good Christian husband, or whatever it may be. So I think yes, that is how a lot of people end up in toxic marriages, because they haven't actually analyzed the character of the person. They've just ticked, he goes to church, he claims to be a Christian, we waited before marriage. Yeah. So and then you see the 3 to 6 months courtships as well. Again, if God says that's the person, and you go for it and it's amazing, fantastic. I've heard of people that have been married for 30, 50 years and they got married within 3 months. It really does happen. But again, what's the motive? What got you there in the first place? Explore that. We all want to endure our marriages in Jesus' name. Amen. We will enjoy our marriages. Listen, you have to affirm this. And my partner he's not really a speaking into existence person. He doesn't really believe in all that, like you say something and then it happens. Of course, it's if God wills something for you, but I do believe it's important to affirm these things for yourself, like a healthy relationship. I say to myself, like, I'll hold my head up, like, a healthy relationship is possible for you. More, a healthy marriage is possible. You enjoy your marriage in Jesus' name. Like, you need to add those into your prayers, not because it necessarily makes it happen, but I think it also sets the tone for how you present yourself, and how you operate within these marriages as well, how you handle conflict. If you're someone that is going to a marriage with the mindset that marriages are terrible, they don't anything little thing that happens, you're like, well, I knew it. Pack your bags and go. Do you know what I mean? So you've already kind of sabotaged yourself before you've actually got into it. But I think it sets the tone. I think that's why affirmations are powerful, not because it definitely makes it happen, but because it sets the tone for how you're going to operate, and how you're going to navigate certain situations. When the Bible says life and death is in the power of the tongue, it's not because I can say you bottle of water disappear and it's going to disappear. No, it's because, for example, if you're speaking to a child, you're telling them you're amazing, you're beautiful. They're going to go out there confident. If you knock their confidence down and tell them you're disgusting, you're so dumb, they go into school already defeated. Do you know what I mean? So that's why they say life and death is in the power of the tongue. Not that I can say abracadabra, let me begin to fly, and I begin to fly. Do you know what I mean? Okay, let's see. Oh, where am I? Where am I? Listen to Jonathan McReynolds recently cycles and declared, I'm not going through the same toxic. Amen. And like, girl, as soon as you recognize it, you better run. Because I remember saying that and I ended up in one. Remember on the last one, the last live stream, live stream. Last video I was talking about the worst relationship of my life. Literally, I'd healed, I'd gotten to a place where I knew my worth, and I still fell for a sucker. Okay. So you need to also act on what you're saying. Don't just believe it, act on it. And it's like when you see something healthy, grab it. Grab it. You need to grab it because the market, God save us. When you do find a good person, hold on to them seriously. Did God align you guys paths, you and your partner, after you did that fast? Interesting. I would say that obviously I don't want to like talk too much on it right now, but it definitely happened after, in terms of us getting into a relationship, but it wasn't immediate. And that's why I also say that a lot of these things, relationships, is time and chance. So you can pray, you can fast, you can be a great person, but it's not until God says it's your time that it's going to be your time. And that's why, again, I have a problem with those singles ministries where they perpetuate those mindsets that something's wrong with the person. A lot of the time, it's just timing. It's just not the person's times. The most Someone that needs to work on their character can marry today. Someone that is so great and amazing might not marry. So again, I think it's timing. Yes, I did the fast, and I think that changed me more than anything. I always say that fasting doesn't change God, it changes me. It made me gain like things like self-control. It made me see things a lot more clearly. It made me let go of that toxic situationship that I told you guys about. So yeah, it changed me. I wouldn't say it changed God's hand. It just made me ready for my blessings, but then it's still a matter of timing and when God says. Um oh my god, yeah, I think one of my siblings is my soulmates. I literally used to think that about Sophie. Um Before I met my partner. Sorry, Sophie. I think I think she still is like, I would say we have many soulmates. So if in that case, I would say Sophie's one of my soulmates. But yeah, my siblings definitely taught me what unconditional love looks like before I got into like a healthy romantic relationship as well. Someone said, I think so, Princess. There's definitely pressure that unfortunately a lot of people fall into. Yeah, and literally that, like, another amen to Semi's prayer. That was so beautiful. Princess said, I've noticed recurring reasons for some women in the industry um, becoming baby mothers linked to intending to consider marriage afterwards, taking biological clock, money. Yeah, yeah. I think there was, this happened to Linda Ikeji. Um, and that's not to shame her or anything. Like, she's got a healthy baby. And she I think she was about 30. She was in her 30s when she had a baby. And I think, yeah, she wanted some. I don't know whether she wanted. Let me not even talk about it, 'cause I don't know the details. Let me just say rubbish. But yeah, yeah. Some people do want to consider marriage afterwards, and they want to just, that is the case biologically as well. Women, we want to have our babies when we're young. There's that pressure on. These pressures don't come from nowhere. Although, I was saying to someone the other day, I did read somewhere that the quality of like men's sperm also decreases as they get older, but it's not spoken about as much as the women. So there's a biological clock on both sides. Um, Evie Eve, you do that. She said, also, I think it applies to older siblings and the responsibilities. Um, let's see, Galatians 3:28. Oh, okay. I don't know, but check that out, guys. Thank you so much, Maria. Tasha said in Old Testament, a man and woman getting caught in adultery both get punished, but the Pharisees started making up their own rules. Hmm. There's many modern day Pharisees. I actually see a lot of people online, and I'm like, I don't think you realize what you're doing. Like, these are exactly the things that Jesus came to stop. Um, and it's interesting because obviously Jesus came and told us that even if it's not even about the act, it's now your heart. Like, if you look at a woman a certain way, you've already committed adultery. So even the law, you cannot. Thank God for salvation. Thank God for dying on the cross for us. Because if it was left to us and our characters and our hearts, do you know how this hearts? Wait, this is my heart, right? Yeah, this is my heart. Do you know this heart and the things that it thinks of? Sometimes I'll be walking. As nice as people think I am, I'll be walking in the shower. I want to push somebody. You know. So you just, your heart thinks about some very naughty things, and you think it's you that's gonna get yourself to heaven. Thank God for dying on the cross. Thank you so much, Gracious, for 1999 superstar. Thank you for the €5. Thank you so much. Who was that? Let's see. EVE, thank you. Oh, she said, "Hi, Sophie. This is for you." I'll buy you ice cream. She said, "This is for you, just because I find it so cute and beautiful that you're one of my soulmates."
Thank you.
She said, "Thank you." We're gonna round up in a second, guys. But let me just read the last comments, and then if anyone has any more questions, please do ask. Um, who disliked the stream? Report yourself. Who did that? um let's see, beauty culture to see. I think you've done a video on this before. Have I done a video on beauty culture? I don't think I have. I've done a video on when I was 21. I talked about saving my virginity for marriage and the pressures that come with that. I spoke about that and the way sometimes we speak about sex and church can be a bit frigid. Maybe I should talk about beauty culture. That's a good one actually. Thank you, Mariam. If Eve said, I think some Christians initially go into marriage with the aim of having godly sex. Now the real situations hit them. More times 3,000. It's very, very true. You're not spending enough time knowing their character. You're just like, I want to get married, I want to get married, I want to get married. And they're Christians who tick. But do you know their stance on for example, who looks after the kids? Do you know their stance on who cooks? I remember I was dating one guy and he's one day I thought, let me just check, and his stance was I knew from there like cool it work, like even trying to like what's it called, even trying to offer solutions, to him it was still, it's a woman's job to do this. So you need to find out those things, because it's not just they can quote Bible. Guys, please shine your eyes very well before you enter these things just because they're Christian. I also think that but again, that being said, no one's perfect. Like you can't find the perfect person. But I think you should always give credit to people that try, and people that are willing to see like where they're going wrong and willing to change. I think that kind of person you can always grow and build with, um, rather than you must find the perfect person that fits everything that you want. Um, I also think that in African churches, ooh, it just popped up. I also think that in African churches, marriages, African churches, ooh, I also think that in African churches, marriage is seen as the woman's identity, yes. When in reality, her identity is only in Christ. That's very true. And also the lens that a lot of people see women through, it's based on, oh, what would the men think? Guys that are on the live stream, like the video, like, oh my god, I didn't even advertise this on Instagram. What am I doing? Guys, say cheese. I know they can't see you, but just pretend. One day we'll have a proper live show and I'll say cheese and all of you will say cheese. So let's see. We on the live. We on the live. My studio audience. Let's see. Let's save that. Live stream. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna come back. Live stream. I even put it in caps locks. Oh, shocking. We're back on.
That's what tears
In the view, spiritual ginger. Loading, 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 ding, loading. Yeah, and you see, like a lot of some Christian women, they'll get married, they will change their ad straight away at midnight to Mrs. whatever it is, and I'm like, oh, I thought you said you were enjoying singleness, Lori Ro. I thought you said you were enjoying singleness. These people so see through. Gosh, it's not your identity. Your identity is in Christ. And like I was saying, the lens through which we see women sometimes is through what will the men say, and not Christ as the standard. And Christ already said, "My friend, you cannot meet the standard. So guess what? I'm going to die on the cross for you." And that doesn't mean like go and do whatever you like, but God is like Jesus literally said, you can't. It's too much for you. What does timing look like practically? Hi Firu, thank you so much for joining us. I think the timing of your life is something that you I don't think we can ever figure it out. I think usually we realize things a lot in retrospect. We realize when they actually happen. Oh, I realized why I had to wait, or I realized why certain things happened the way they happened, or they just happened the way they happened, just because they happened. Not everything has to have a deep meaning attached to it. Um, I think again, as Christians, we struggle with the idea of not knowing, and maybe this is also down to maybe like more Pentecostal charismatic strand of the church. Even me, I'm using that lingo now. With prophecies and stuff, we feel like we always have to know, but sometimes we don't know, and that's literally like we just have to trust the timing of our lives. And also, girls, like guys, girls. I remember when I was like, okay, I think I'm ready for a relationship now. I started putting myself out there. Let's be honest. Like I started putting myself out there a lot more. I remember I was talking to those of you who listen to Real Talk, Real Walking. If you like the Real Talk, Real Walk podcast, do comment in the section there. I remember like speaking to what's it called, babe? Gosh, there's three of them. There's Gabs, Pastor Emmanuel. I remember speaking to Pastor Emmanuel or Pastor E, and it was just a very random conversation. And I was like, oh, like I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Like, I'm ready to date, but I'm not really like having much luck in that area. And then he just literally said to me, like, do you go out? He didn't say any spiritual whatever. Like you get people that will come and tell you go and be fasting. No, he was just like, do you go out? And I analyzed that. No, like at the time I was doing MCTV, I was doing Anu Media, I was in the office till like 12 midnight sometimes, and then I would go home and sleep. Where's the husband gonna come and meet you? Is he gonna climb through your window? So he told me some other things, look nice, look more attractive, he's not spiritual all the time. So there's a thing about timing, but there's also look nice, as a woman, as a man, shape up, bearding gang, whatever it looks like for you, look like your best you, basically. So he advised me like that, and just like that, not just like that, but I was, yeah, again, I don't want to portray those like, I earned this kind of thing, but I do think like whilst you're waiting on the timing of your life, also like put yourself out there. I would say put yourself out there as well. So when somebody says, what does God's timing look like practically? I believe there's God's timing, but I think sometimes God is also waiting on us. I believe God's also waiting on us, like go out there, meet people. If you even if you want to do online dating, let your social media be on point, my brothers and sisters. Show them God's work. Do you understand? If it's you're shy, you don't like to, use it well. You look nice. Don't look, stop looking like Sister Mary. Still look nice, all right? So even as people, as they want good things, these Christian men too, they like good things. The new ones, the modern day, is not deeper life men anymore. Those men that no, that only like women because they like their Bible. They also want nice things. So look nice. The men too, women, we like eye candy. Look nice, like I said, belingang, muscle, ripped, whatever it may look like for you. I like chop school guys. So for me, the muscle never really used to trip me, but look like your best you as well whilst you're waiting on God. Hope that helps. Let's see. Do, do. I'll buy you ice cream. Yes, now I have to cajole her into things. Seth said, what about Isha? Isha's in uni. Guys, Isha's my other sister that you guys don't see all the time. I don't know if Isha's watching, but she's my other sister and she's in uni right now. So she's not at home. So even when I'm vlogging, I only tend to show Sophie because she's the one at home with me. My brother is not really a camera guy. Maybe we get the odd holiday picture. You guys might have seen that we posted our Christmas family picture, but he doesn't really like cameras as well. Please add that purity culture aligns to the old covenant law. It does, absolutely. So you want to push somebody. Sometimes this minds so Domayo 13 said, hey Mo, maybe you should do a Zoom conference. Okay, like I'm not really a relationship coach. I don't, like I said, I find a lot of these relationship things in the church like patronizing, but I mean, in terms of general conversation, it's just that February is the month of love. That's why we're talking about this. But yeah, I don't mind. Big up to the people that go live. on the live. You've been liking the video. Thank you so much, guys. Everyone that's been liking, sharing, using the hashtag. I really love you guys so much. Thank you. And those that have been giving, thank you so much. You're all amazing. Mo, you need to do these lives more often. I feel like I'm talking to a friend. Aww. That is so romantic. That is so nice. Thank you. Yeah, it's just gosh, my schedule. Guys, pray for me. The biggest thing that I want this year is a team. Like I want to do more. I genuinely want to do more, but I'm only one person. Um if I can have help, like with the stuff I do, I want to generate more income on the channel so that I can pay people. I'm a big believer in paying people. um yeah, I'm a big believer in paying people. Like unless someone volunteers themselves and they have a pure heart towards it, not someone that they will feel like they're being used. But like I want the channel to generate more income, build my team. So if anything, just pray for this channel. You're like, we need a team so that I can do more, because I know you guys enjoy these. Princess said, I agree that some may never marry or meet the one, but what would be your advice be for those of them who may really desire that? Do you think it's a case of God taking the desire away eventually? Ole, it's tough. It's really tough. Um, again, um, it really depends, because I guess you could say that if you're a guy and you desire marriage, it's more easy for you to get that, because guys are pursuers. But you do see women also taking charge in that area. Not me though. You do see some women taking charge in that area, and that's not to say there's anything wrong with it. It's just not for me, because I'm actually really shy. It's not just being a woman. Like I'm really shy. Like even now with my partner, like he probably flirts more and all of that, and that's because like I'm just a shy girl. Um, but yeah, some women are taking charge in that department, and meeting the loves of their lives. And also, like, don't be, just a random bit of advice, don't feel like you're too much for dating apps. So people are meeting the loves of their lives. Our friend Reggie, what's it called? I think I saw Shami here. Our friend Reggie met her partner. She's getting married this year. I think it's this year. She's getting married this year. She met him on a dating app. So try that. Like, there's nothing wrong with having that desire. You don't have to. Everything doesn't have to be spray cocoa. And I think the time I've made the most progress in my life in certain areas is when I've stopped being so spiritual about it and just taking practical steps to make what I want happen. And that's not to say that everything you want will happen, but there are certain things you can do. Like, what steps can you take to meet the people that you want to meet? You desire marriage, like, don't do it on a desperation thing, but like, it's not wrong. You don't want to meet someone outside of the church. Get people to hook you up. Sometimes those hookups work. Aunties that have one brother that wants to get married, that's if you're not too picky. Do you understand? Like, and like, be picky, but like, if they have somebody for you, like, take practical steps. I think, yeah, I don't want to really say that God will take away the desire, because I think that those that are single and celibate, a lot of them is because they have a genuine desire to be single and celibate. So if you have a desire to be married, don't be so spiritual about it. Take practical steps, and let God do the rest. Someone said I've met so many questionable Christian men. It's definitely not by rapping with Bible verses. No, it's not. It's not. It's not. Oh, give me something else. Let me see your character. Somebody said, if this happened during the pandemic, how would you have approached meeting somebody personally? I don't understand that question. If this happened during the pandemic, how would you approach meeting someone personally? So, like, if you fell in love, just let me clarify that, but I'm going to go with that. If this happened during the pandemic, should be FaceTime. Wow. There's Zoom, there's all these things. If you both drive, you can drive to the person's house. Don't come out of your car, of course, because social distancing. Just so you can see them physically, because I believe some people woman pretend like they look some a different way to how they actually look in person. So I think it's important to see the person in person as well, but also like gauge your feelings, strip it back a little bit. You haven't actually met them officially, so take your time. This is giving me, are you looking like a Ruth? Oh God, no. No. Well, it's I don't like those things that they do in church sometimes. No, 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 no. You need to work on my social media. Yes, girl. Yeah, it's gonna get saved. Um, let's see. Oh, thank you so much, Gracious, for the 499. You've come for us. Lord, help me to not be questionable. We're gonna close the live in 5 minutes, guys. Wow, this has been so much fun. I agree. I heard a single man in the ministry say he will hide money from his future wife. You see, Mo, what does putting yourself out there mean? Yeah, like I said, just go to, like I said, my biggest thing at the time was I hardly went out, so I wasn't really a socializer. um so if you don't socialize with other people, how are you going to meet people? Like, give yourself that chance at least. And that's not to guarantee that you're going to get a partner because you put yourself out there, but at least give yourself a chance. It's kind of like you're a footballer and you want to score a goal. If you're always sitting on the bench, how will you score, my dear? You at least try. You take some shots. You may not get it in the goalpost, but try first and see. um Sexual dating card naturally finding them. You see that, a lot of girls that want high value men, they want the rich footballers. They will go to footballer events. You're not gonna see them, I don't know, somewhere else. You see them in those events, sipping on the wine, dropping. Then the boobies will show. They put strategic positioning. Um, Hi, I've just bombarded you with relationship questions. That's fine. It's all about, we're doing a relationship live. Intentional dating or doing things you like. Yeah, just be intentional, guys. And ladies, communicate what you want. If the conversation does come up between you and the person you're dating, don't pretend like, oh, I don't really want marriage. Meanwhile, marriage, yeah, you want it. You want it, sis. Say it. You only scare off someone that's not for you and someone that has decided they don't want to give you. Guys, before we go, like the live. Please share anywhere, social media, Twitter. Use the hashtag ChitChatWithMo, TMCS live as well. Hide the money. Oh, I'm rubber. Let's see. Any last one? I think for people that want relationship, it's also good to build friendships and have good community. Some of us are bad friends. Yeah, it's true. And that's not to say being a good sister daughter friend earns your relationship. But yeah, like, just, yeah, learn relationships from the people in your life already before you go into one. How did you meet your significant other? That's a story for another day. That's a story for another day. I would love to share that with you guys one day. I met my new partner during the pandemic and it's been hard, but it's going strong. Oh, congratulations! Really happy for you. My partner surpassed on my ex. I put myself out and got the best. You see what I mean? Thank you guys so much for joining. I'm going to play the theme song as we sign out. I really, really, really hope you guys have enjoyed this. Oh, thank you so much, Nyla. This was my first live watch from you. Turn on post notifications and I'll be back. My mom is calling me. Mother, I'm on a live stream. she said, do I want to grow plantain? Mother, I'm a YouTube star. Not a house girl. Okay, thank you guys so much for joining tonight. Thank you so much. I do have a PayPal. It's in the description box down below. Thank you guys. Thank you. I did see somebody actually send a PayPal. Let me see who that was. Actually, thank you. That was from Femi. Thank you so much. Okay, and we out. Let's play. Until next time, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Last, if you liked it, share with your friends and also subscribe to the channel for more. Until next time, guys. Peace and love. Peace and chunks. DJ, play the music. The speaker is not working. Did you turn it off? No, I think it turned off itself. Let's wait for the speaker to come back.
Chance of life. Sometimes I'm in my zone and the world is hectic all around Chance me. Of fashion. And when I'm on my way, I've got to sound my best. I've got to look like me. It's amazing what you find when you search the world of celebrity. Chance of relationships. Everybody's trying to figure out this thing called love. Yeah. Chance of life, chance of fashion, chance of entertainment, chance of
Thank you so much. much, guys. Have a great night.
Chunks of life, chunks of passion, chunks of entertainment, chunks of relationships. So give me some love, give me some love, give me some love. Give me some love, give me some love, give me some love. No time.
Bye, guys. A butt for real. Bye, guys.